I hadn't realized that I've been ignoring my pain the entire day. So I really hadn't realized what I was going through. And I've been having such a good time with these people, and I felt so much love that I couldn't even believe that this groom was talking to me that way, especially when I hadn't done anything to him. I hadn't done anything to anybody that day. The only thing I did was show up, do my best, and be my best. I just wanted to make sure that this bridal party really enjoyed. I just wanted to do everything that I could to make sure that the day was perfect for them. But obviously, I was doing something to get on somebody's nerves. As I am bursting out in tears, the bride is consoling me, and she's like, no, like, I don't want you to leave. Like, I'm so sorry. I'm really in tears because I just can't believe that all this stuff is happening to me this weekend. Most of other personal problems that I got going on in my life. I'm in this crazy space. I was just so emotional. I couldn't do nothing but break down. I just felt so weak. I felt so made a fool out of. I felt so vulnerable, like I was being kicked while I was already down. And I just felt like I had given this bridal party everything that I had. I didn't have much to give, but I gave it. I gave it all I got. I gave it all my energy. Y'all can see, I literally went above and beyond. I was on my feet for over 12 hours. I was giving it everything I had. I just want everything to be special for them. I knew I wasn't in the best space, but I'm like, these people are literally having one of the biggest days of their life. Like, I just want to make sure that this shit goes well, and I just want it to just be good vibes and good energy. So I decide I'm going to leave. I told the bride, I said, I'm just going to go ahead and leave. I don't want to be ruining anybody's day. My heart broke in that moment. I've never had that happen to me. I thought about it, and I was like, you know what, my bride, I went out to my car. I think I went to the store to just get something. And I was like, you know what? My bride doesn't want me to leave. I was like, I might as well just stay. So I went back and I drove into the botanical garden. I parked right back in the same spot that I was parked at. Before I walked in there, I was like, you know what? Go back, get what you need. You are stronger than that. Don't let nobody break you down. So I went back in there, and I went back in there with my head held. When I got back in there, I went straight into the cocktail hour. I had my head held high. I'm not gonna let nobody break me down. I'm good. Like, maybe he just had a moment. Maybe he just needed to cool off. I did nothing to him. I sit down and, I see the bride and we're talking, and she's like, you're good. Like, you're fine. Her mom telling me, stay. Like, we really love you being here. We love your energy. The mom, me and her, we still just vibing. It's still just like a vibe. I mean, I dusted off. I was like, you know what? Let me let that go. Then I go back out of the cocktail hour and I go and sit down with a couple groomsmen. So I'm sitting with the groomsmen, I'm chilling. They like, yo, you look tired. I'm like, yo, I've been on my feet since like 7 o'clock this morning. I left out at like 6 o'clock in the morning to just get here. So I've been on my feet all day. Like, I ain't really had no breaks. I had a bagel, and then I just ate some food from this cocktail hour. After that, one of the assistant planners came up to me and she goes, can I talk to you to the side? And I'm like, I'm sitting there and I'm like, I don't even feel like getting up here. I'm just ready to get the last couple shots of these videos and this content that I need for this wedding, and I'm ready to go. So I told her, I was like, if you got something to say, you could just say it right here. Like, it's fine. Like, it's not even that deep at this point. So she goes, oh, like, the couple does not want you here anymore, so you're gonna have to leave. I'm sitting there and I'm just like, I'm trying to process what's happening. The couple wants me to leave. Like, what did I do? Like, I'm just so confused. On top of that, this is just like super embarrassing. Whether I would have went to the side with her or not, this is something that I know was being talked about. So it's already just embarrassing. Said it didn't matter. This is my reputation. This is my company. I'm self-made. I built this on my own. And this is just like crazy. And I didn't do anything to anybody. I'm so confused. So I end up getting up and I'll start walking by. And again, I'm about to burst out in tears because I'm just like, nah, like, there's no way that all of this stuff is happening. There's just no way. So I pulled the bride and I was like, oh, can you come here? And she was like, oh, you about to leave? I see you or whatever. So I was like, nah, like, come here. So I understand that you and your husband want me to leave. I was like, I didn't do anything to anybody. I don't even know what's happening. Like, I'm so confused. Now I'm sitting there about to start crying again because I'm just really confused. So I was like, you know what? Thank you for allowing me to be a part of your wedding day or whatever the case may be. I'm going to go ahead and go. Mind you, I see security literally watching me. So y'all were about to get a security guard to remove me from out the wedding as if I need to be forced out, like as if I'm begging to be here. Like, for real? When I tell y'all, it was so embarrassing and so crazy because I literally did nothing to nobody at this wedding. I do appreciate to the bride for being apologetic about what happened. That was crazy and it was unacceptable. It was disrespectful. I maybe think I was the only black vendor. I don't know. I'm the only black vendor that I saw, and I was treated that way. That was fucked up. That was mad fucked up what y'all did to me. I only gave y'all good energy that day, and that was so was kicked out of a wedding tonight. I've never in my life have been kicked out of a wedding for doing absolutely nothing. I've never been kicked out of anywhere. And I'm so hurt. Like, I feel like in this industry, there's no space for me. And I love this industry so much. And I love working with brides, and I love doing fun stuff. I love being able to bring out content. But I don't know, like, I don't know if God is telling me, like, that this is not the place for me. I barely even work weddings anymore. If I come out to your wedding, that's so rare for me nowadays. When I come and I work a wedding, I try to give my all. And I stayed at this wedding.
Weddings are such a special day, full of love, excitement, and a lot of planning to make sure everything goes just right. But sometimes, even with all the careful preparation, things can take an unexpected turn. In today's video, I'm going to share a story about a makeup artist who overstayed her welcome, turning a bride's perfect day into something much more stressful than it should have been. Let's get into how things went from smooth to chaotic real quick.
With the makeup artist in New York that got kicked out of the wedding. This makeup artist posted a 3-part series about how she got kicked out of this wedding and why and what happened. And essentially it's just 3 videos full, well, at least the first 2, full of content that she shot from this wedding. And so it started as her shooting content for her makeup stuff, which is totally fucking normal. And do it. You should get to promote your business and post stuff for your business as well. But the issue became when it went from just behind the scene content for her makeup to her literally being like a second videographer at this bride's wedding. And I said second because the bride did have a photographer and a videographer. And as you watch these videos, you see that she is just in so many places that as a makeup artist, she should not be. She is everywhere. And I mean everywhere. Like, she's at the first look, she's with the groom, she's at the first look with the bridal party, she's there helping the bride get dressed. And listen, I have been married and had a big wedding, and if my vendors were stepping in on my moments, like I was getting ready and my maid of honor and my mom helped me get into my dress. I have pictures of that. It was special. It's a moment. And to think, like, in all these different videos that you see that she was recording, you see the photographer and the videographer in the background, which makes me think that she's gonna be in all of these brides' videos and pictures. Like, she's gonna be everywhere. She is a part of the day at this point, and she's none the wiser of what she's doing, has no clue. She stays for her cocktail hour, she gets herself some food, she gets some seconds of some food, she has a drink, and then She leaves. She leaves, okay? Like, she leaves. And then she comes back. So she left, drove away, and then drove back. Even says she parked in the same parking spot from when she left, went back into the wedding, had been talking to the bride like consistently throughout this. At one point, she asked the bride and groom if she could finish filming some content for like some TikTok, and the groom was like, no thank you, we're done, that's enough, you're being annoying. And she said that the bride was like, don't mind him, you're not getting on my nerves. And that screamed immediately to me that she's just trying to be nice. Like, he's being upfront and rude, and she is like, let's not be rude. But she was probably thinking the same. And then someone else called out the fact that I think he said, like, you're done, like, you need to leave, that your time is over, or something like that. And I think that's why she left. And she was like, but the bride kept telling me to stay, and her mom kept saying they wanted me to stay. And so she leaves, and then she comes back. And then she's sitting with the groomsmen, who are like, you look tired. Probably is another hint of like, why are you still here? You should go home. And the assistant wedding planner came up to her and was like, hey, can I talk to you over here? And she's like, no, you can say whatever you need to right here. And the assistant wedding planner was like, okay, well, you need to leave. Like, it's time for you to go. You need to leave. And she gets so upset, starts essentially almost crying if she wasn't crying. Like, it sounded like she said she was almost crying, but I bet she was crying. Then next thing you know, she's saying that she's talking to the bride. And I'm like, you're talking to the bride on her wedding day. And she has said this multiple times, that she was talking to the bride and her mom at one point were like consoling her and telling her, oh no, we want you to stay. You can stay. Don't worry about it. It's no big deal. Yeah, because you were crying to them on her wedding day. You were making a scene at this woman's wedding. She will remember this forever, not because of the amazing makeup that you did for her, but because of the scene that you caused by inserting yourself into her big day. And y'all, this woman doesn't get it. She still, at the end of it, doesn't get it. She posts like this long video of herself sobbing in the car. She's talking about how these people are dulling her shine or something, and people don't want to see her shine. And she just, she's not getting it. She doesn't get it. And it's honestly crazy. If you're gonna watch any of them, watch the third one. The first two are literally just behind the scenes content with like words on the screen, but the last one is like,
I'm not gonna hold y'all. When I first came across that lady who got hired to do hair and makeup at that woman's wedding, and she stayed the entire day at her own free will and offered to stay the whole entire day to make content after she did the people's hair and makeup, I dead ass thought that was like satire. When I first came across the video, I was like, oh my gosh, she's trying to pull in clients. This is not real. She knows the bride, they're best friends, and she's just trying to pull in views. When I watched part 1, 2, and 3, I said, there's no fucking way that you did all that at that woman's wedding. Hello, what? The lack of reading the room was so insane. Like, you can tell from part 1 of the videos, as you get to part 2, the laughing becomes more awkward. The smiles in the video become a little more awkward. You have these people doing fucking TikToks at the wedding. They don't even look like the bunch who even want to do it. Like, everything looked awkward after a while, where I'm like, if I'm on the outside watching back the content that you got, how did you not feel how awkward this was as the person filming it? I also wanted to give this woman grace, because I'm like, she mentions in part 1 how she suffered a breakup, her boyfriend was cheating on her, you know, she had personal stuff going on in her life. When you get to part 3, and she mentions how the groom apparently finally got fed up. He said, we're not doing no more of your fucking TikToks. And she goes to the bride and she crying to the bride, and the bride's having to console somebody else at her own fucking wedding. And she said, you know, that was fucked up. It was wrong for what they did to her. And they're trying to kick her out of the wedding at one point. And she said, like, they almost had security come over to, like, escort her out. And basically how she felt offended. And then she includes a clip of her, like, boohoo crying. And when they did try to, like, kick her out of the wedding, this is before this whole security thing, but when they did ask her to leave, apparently, she left and then came back, because she said, you know, I don't feel like my bride actually wanted me to leave, and they're not going to break me down. What in the fuck are you talking about? They're not gonna break you down. Leave those people's wedding. Now she does make it a point to like include the fact that the wife kept telling her like, no, it's okay. Like, I want you to stay at the wedding. I want you to stay at the wedding. Even so, you should have left after you completed the work. I think that because this woman had like something personal going on in her own personal life, maybe she just wanted to be around good vibes. And I can only imagine that a bridal party is probably a great vibe. Like, sure, it's a good time, but you have got to know how to read the room and also exit. Leave before you become a nuisance. It's something that we all have to learn. And not for nothing, this woman is going to be in the, like, watching the bride, like the first reveal, if you go to like part 2, I think, where the bride was going to be revealed to her bridesmaids, the woman is, the videographer and photographers also capture the makeup artist in the group of the bridesmaids. Like, what are you doing? Like, again, it would be different if this woman was a friend or kin to the bride. Like, that would be so much different. I don't think the bride, if I was the bride, I would not want the person that I hired, who I don't personally know for we're not on some deep level of friendship. I don't want you in my bridal pictures outside of you doing my hair and makeup.
There's no reason why you should have been at that woman's cocktail hour reception and ceremony if you was just a makeup artist. It's no reason. When you kept saying, I'm gonna finish getting this content. Your content was completed when her face was completed and you took a picture of her standing in front of that ring light. You was supposed to pack all that shit up, get your kit and caboodle, and vamoose. How did you find yourself being put out of somebody's wedding, crying at their wedding? You're crying to the bridal party and you don't know them from a can of paint. You just met them. She's consoling you on her big day. When you are in that kind of business, you have to be able to read energy. You have to be able to read the room. That leads me to believe that when you're doing somebody's makeup and they don't like it, you can't tell. You're supposed, and yes, people are supposed to open their mouth and say something, but you're supposed to be able to tell when the energy is just like, what's wrong? You don't like it? You want me to fix something? Because some people just aren't people who speak up. That leads me to believe you don't have those skills. I really feel like you're a genuinely nice person, but maybe you're not in the right business. That's all I know.
Hey guys, so story time, part 2, the bride who got kicked out of the wedding twice. The key look, okay? Where I left off is I was telling you guys that she literally went back to the bride after the party planner said, the bride and the groom want you to leave. You're good. Thank you for your service. This lady proceeds to get in her car. She leaves. As she leaves, she starts making a video where she's in the car crying. And she's, God, am I meant to be in this industry? Am I meant to do this? And it goes from like a crying, sad, no tears, by the way. No tears. How I just did my little fake cry, that's how she was. God, am I meant to? Like that, no tears. To, y'all trying to steal my light. People don't want you to shine. They don't want you to do great on like some DJ Khaled type shit. So it's like, so now you trying to say like they wanted to steal your light? Girl, you stole her whole wedding. Literally. Then for you to come make a 4-part series about it. And listen, part 1 and part 2, she posts everything. The whole wedding. Yo, she was on the aisle, right? Like, you know how you walk down the aisle? She literally, you'll see the video of the bride and the groom walking and being able to go in front of her. So you mean to tell me you got on black, an all black outfit, not in concept with my wedding, makeup all over you. You've been working for 12 hours, hot, sweaty, not fitting in with my look, and you're standing on my wedding aisle? Are you crazy? Are you deranged? Because what is going on? Like, moving forward in 5 years, when this lady takes out her wedding book to show her pictures, according to one of the photographers, she's in the pictures. Like, she was so in the way. Because the girl, like I told you, she had a videographer and a photographer. And you got the makeup artist telling the videographer, oh, turn that way, turn this way, do this, do that. Girl, you came to do makeup. And then it's like, when she made the 4-part series, y'all, the bride's maids, the videographer, the other vendors are on there commenting, and she's deleting their comments. It's like, no, baby, if you can come on TikTok and try to make something go viral and ruin somebody's time, go back and forth about it. If you're going to stand on what you're talking about, don't delete no comments. Go back and forth with it. You know, defend yourself till the end or apologize because you're wrong. The only reason you're going to delete the comments is if you feel like, oh, this will make me look bad. It looks bad. You potentially ruined somebody's like princess fairy day. In other news, the bride is on her honeymoon. She knows all about this. She knows that like the people side with her, that she's not wrong, you know, for wanting her to leave. But I cannot believe that this woman walked up to this woman in the middle of her wedding and said, do you want me to leave? You were supposed to leave hours ago. You wasn't even supposed to go to the wedding. You was only supposed to be there for 2 hours to touch up makeup and then go. And then, she had the nerve to say they barely had any food there, but you had 2 plates. And y'all know when people have weddings, they give like plate settings. They have a certain amount of numbers and everything for people. But it's like the moral of this whole thing is that lady, because I forgot to tell y'all this too. I guess the day before that, she had another wedding she was doing makeup at. And her boyfriend, she found out he cheated on her. And apparently when she was doing the other bride's makeup the day before, she was sitting there crying, making the whole bridal party awkward and feel weird as she's crying over her boyfriend cheating on her while doing somebody else's makeup. At the end of the day, you went through something traumatic. Being cheated on, it sucks. It really does, okay? But if you know that your job is to do bridal makeup, and you're about to be around a lot of love, a lot of happiness. Apparently, at the wedding, there was a song being played. And the girl, because she's thinking about how her dude cheated on her, she tells them, can you change the song? I don't like it. On my wedding day, I call the shots. But it's so unfortunate because it's like this woman, between her wedding and her honeymoon, everything is surrounding this makeup artist. It wasn't about her. You didn't let it be about her. And that's why everybody's not agreeing with you. Because it's like there's certain days. You're going to say like graduations, birthdays, weddings. It's supposed to be about the person that is accomplishing something. Anyways, y'all, her page is The Key Look. And just go look at everything, okay? There's also another girl who's touching this story. I think it's like Anna something or whatever. She's a little bit more in depth than what I am. But at the end of the day, you should have just did what you were supposed to do as a service provider and left, because you emotionally were going through your own stuff, your own trauma and your own trials. And instead of you being able to be there full of love, you were looking for attention. You were trying to take your mind off the fact that your man cheated on you, but you did it the wrong way because you went to a wedding, tried to make yourself so a part of it so that you would feel like you have, not something to live for, but like, I have something that I could do to keep my mind off this. And so now, I'm sure you ain't thinking about the man that cheated on you now, because now you're thinking about how all these people are going crazy on you because you ruined this girl's special day. Now she on her honeymoon trying to with her man, and she thinking my wedding was so bad, babe. I can't believe she did that. Shame on you, Key. Like, you could have let her have the one day. That's it. You should have left when you're supposed to leave. You all up in the background pictures. Like you Diddy and she Biggie back in the 90s. All up in the videos. Crazy. But y'all, go look on The Key. Go look on her page. And you'll see everything. It's crazy. But I gave y'all part 2. I wasn't going to, but y'all were asking for it. Bye, guys.
I just saw a 3-part video of a makeup artist talking about her experience of getting kicked out of a wedding. Let me speak for myself as someone who's literally getting married next year. Let me tell you right now, I would have kicked you out the moment you got involved telling my bridesmaids they have to do multiple TikToks. You would have been kicked out the moment you thought you were going to be yelling at my bridesmaids of when to turn around. Get the fuck out of my wedding. And let's say hypothetically she's on the spectrum and she just can't pick up those social cues. I get it. I'm on the spectrum. I hardly ever pick up social cues sometimes. But after like the 3rd, 5th awkward session, you don't feel it in your heart that you need to leave? I think even the wedding coordinator at one point was trying to get her out. Girl, also, why are you taking videos of the groomsmen's? That's what you do their makeup. You didn't do their makeup. Why are you taking videos of the groomsmen? Don't play in my face. We played in that lady's face, and she was very nice about it. Because I go pull you come out there. You did it, you know, tell me go don't go. No, tell me.
Three things that be tearing y'all up: social cues, context clues, and discernment. She did a 3-part series, and in the 3 parts she shared, I was hiding in the comments from secondhand embarrassment. She did the girl's makeup and proceeded to stay through the makeup, through the first viewing of the dress, through the actual ceremony, cocktail hour, you name it, she was there and overstayed her welcome. She's probably in the back of all of this bride's pictures. All of them, all the videos, all the pictures. She had a nerve to have a ring light out while the photographer is trying to take pictures, interrupting the photographer to get him to pose for her content.
All right, go ahead. Hit me with the turnaround.
Imagine somebody that you don't even know in all of your wedding photos, in all of your wedding videos. Hello? They had to ask her to leave twice. She just kept talking about how hurt she was, how sad she was, how she broke down crying, and the bride had to comfort her on her day. You're a makeup artist. You're not my friend. Why am I doing this? You need to go to therapy. Some of the comments were really supportive, saying, hey sis, you got this wrong. You didn't read the room. That's okay. Let's do better. Let's take these videos down. It's still not. The bride hasn't posted yet, but I could just only imagine you're on your honeymoon and people are waiting for you now to respond to a makeup artist that overstayed their welcome, and you were nice enough not to kick her out, but your man had to be your mouthpiece and said you got to get up out of there. Being on your honeymoon, trying to relax, and you getting texts and calls and tagged in your entire wedding video that's shading your husband's reaction to something that's high-key justified. Child.
You to do my makeup for my wedding, and then you come and you're a menace and you start like causing all these problems and telling my photographers what to do and following me to my venue and staying longer than I asked you to be there just because your fiance broke up with you 2 days prior to that or cheated on you or whatever, and you start projecting at my event that I paid for people to be at per head. Yeah, me and my cousin's gonna have to see you. It's gonna be lights out, because running to TikTok and complaining as if I'm the problem as the bride when it's you is absolutely diabolical. So there's this lady, her name is The Key Look. She's a makeup artist based out of New York City, and she gets contracted to do a wedding. She's doing the makeup for the bride, the bridesmaid, and the mother of the bride. Mind you, she's also been cheated on 2 days prior to that, I think, and is still like, going through the feelings and stuff like that. So she does this wedding and just becomes a menace. Okay. She starts telling the photographer what to do. She's like staying for the first look, she's like hanging up the groomsmen. She's bothering the groom, all this stuff. And so the wedding planner eventually asks her to leave. And what does she do? Instead of being like, oh my God, I was projecting, like I'm so sorry. I lost it. Like I completely lost myself. She gets on TikTok and she starts like saying, all this happened to her because she was the only black vendor there. Now, was the lack of melanin in the room something I noticed? Absolutely, but I'm just messy. However, if you did that, oh my God, you gotta run me my fade.
I feel like she had no business coming up to the venue if she knew that she was already emotional about what her boyfriend did to her. She brought all her emotions, all of her negativity onto this client's wedding day, frustrated the whole entire bridal party, including the husband, was just, I can imagine, frustrated, mad, angry, because you did not understand social cues of, okay, it's time for me to leave. No, you stayed all day, and then you got mad because they told you to leave. You are the makeup artist. You're only there for an hour or two. That's it. You go home or you go on to your next venue, your next party. You don't stay at an event that you're not formally invited to. You're just there to do a job as a vendor, as a makeup artist. So I don't blame these people telling her to leave, because as she should have left.
Hello, everybody. I'm going to make this video as short as I possibly can, and I want to make it as quick as possible. I want to start off by apologizing to the bride that I worked with on September 7th, 2024, Kiana. I am so sorry for any distress that I have caused you behind the content that I posted. To all the bridesmaids and the bridal party, I am so sorry to any stress that I have caused you. I never meant for this to get out of hand the way that it did. And I hate that it happened. So I'm going to take accountability. I apologize. I'm deeply sorry. I'm going to remove all of the videos because I don't want to cause you any more stress in your life. You just got married. You don't deserve a whole bunch of stress in your life. And again, I'm deeply sorry for what happened. My intentions is never, ever to make any brides that I work with feel uncomfortable, feel stressed out, feel overwhelmed. That is never my intentions at any wedding that I'm ever working. I'd also like to address the agreement that I have with the brides. In my agreement that I have with the brides, we are able to film content and we are able to use the content. So that is something that is in our agreement. We have had brides who say, no, we do not want to be on social media. We are not social media people. Please, no phones. And we've had to not pull out our phones at weddings, and that's fine. We've had brides who say, yes, like, let's go. Let's do the content. Pull it out. Let's do it. But yeah, we've had both. Even with that, we always ask if we can film, even when we get to the weddings. We always even double check and ask, like, hey, is it okay if we go ahead and record? Even though we know in the agreement that we can record and we can film content for the wedding day. I also want to address being at weddings and cocktail hours. So whenever we go to a cocktail hour or whenever we go to a wedding, it is never like without anybody giving us permission to go. We are always, most of the time, we are asked if we want to stay for the cocktail hour. And a lot of times we are invited to the weddings and we get personal invites to go to these weddings. So we're never just at anybody's cocktail hour, just chilling, doing whatever we want to do. I would never want somebody to do that at my wedding, and I would never do that at somebody else's wedding. I think that is unprofessional. You being somewhere where somebody told you that you weren't allowed to go. I absolutely feel that way. But whenever we do go to weddings or cocktail hours, we are certainly invited by the couple. I also wanted to address the talk around me being a content creator. I'm a makeup artist, which makes me a content creator. If you scroll down into any of my social media, you can see that I have been filming like this with brides. This is something that I have been doing for a while now. This is not something that is new to me. It's something that I have been doing since I started the business. That is how brides get drawn to us, because they're able to view our work on social media. I'm also going to address my personality. I saw a lot of the comments saying that I'm very overbearing. I do too much. I know that I'm a very loud person. And I also just like to joke. That's how my brides bond with me. From the time we start the consultation call till the time that they see me on their wedding day, we have so many conversations. My brides will text me and they'll say, because I got another question. I'm like, what's up? And they ask me stuff about the wedding day. I'm reassuring them. They'll call me. They're at Sephora because what was that product you said I needed? So I have so many interactions with my brides leading up to their wedding day, because they're booking like 12 months to a year and a half out. And most brides tell me that they went ahead and booked with me because they loved my personality so much. They love the way that I joke with them. They always say, oh, I know we're going to have a really good time on our wedding day. A lot of brides say that to me. And again, I've had this team for almost 5 years. And after being in the industry for a while, I started to learn that it wasn't just my skill the reason brides loved me. It was my personality. I would get so many like thank you cards and so many like videos, and like brides are like, yo, like look at this picture that we took at the wedding, like thank you again so much. It became a thing, and it fed the company, and that's what made everybody excited. That's what made the brides excited about booking us, that it just became a thing. I'm also going to address the narrative that's being played around with, that I was asked to leave the wedding twice. I was not asked to leave the wedding twice. I was asked to leave the wedding one time. The first time I did leave the wedding because the groom cursed at me. It was just really unexpected, and I thought it was really uncalled for. I didn't think I needed to be cursed at. If anybody wanted me to leave in that moment, I thought it was a perfect time, because it was only me, the groom, and the bride standing there. Thought it was a perfect time to be like, Keziah, like, like, I think that's enough. Like, we're done with this. Like, thank you so much for the day. And then I would have just, went on out. And I think I took the bride telling me to come back way too lightly. I should have never came back. So I'll take full accountability for that. I do want to address the groom and the way that you talked to me. I just thought that it was really disrespectful. I thought it was hurtful. And I just really think that it was uncalled for. I didn't need to be cursed at in that moment, especially when I've only had maybe 2 to 3 interactions with you. I just didn't deserve to be cursed at. I've never cursed at anybody at a wedding. I'm not disrespectful to anybody at the wedding. I'm not using, foul language towards anybody in any aggressive way. That's not how I go about weddings. Brides who have worked with me know this. Any vendors who have worked with me know this. When anybody walks in the room, I say hello, because that's how I was raised. I've never been disrespectful at a wedding. The reason that I started the key look was because I saw that there was something missing in the wedding industry. There's not a lot of Black-owned hair and makeup teams. A lot of Black women can't get ready with their bridal parties on the day of because they can't find a team that can work with all skin tones and all hair types. And that was really important to me to fill that space, because I'm like, I'm Black. Like, I'm Black. I have a lot of different kinds of friends. I have friends with all different hair types, different skin tones. And I want them to feel and look beautiful on my wedding day too. So that's why I started the key look. I did this for, women of color and Black women. And I want to move forward from this, and I want to continue to do what I do. I want to continue to bring content. I want to continue to service brides, because I'm passionate about weddings. I'm passionate about brides. I love what I do, and I just want to continue to do that. So I do want to move forward. And again, I apologize.
At the end of the day, weddings are about celebrating love and happiness. It's a day where everything should go smoothly, and professionals know their role and stay in their role. When it's time to step back, you need to step back. In this case, emotions ran high, but boundaries were crossed. It's important to remember that no matter what you're going through personally, your professionalism needs to come first, especially on someone else's big day. So, what do you think? Was the makeup artist out of line, or was the situation more complicated than it seemed? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And see you next time. Bye!